Don't blink, it's your blink. Welcome to the show. Hope you guys are doing well because I'm having a wonderful day. My apologies. My apologies. Yeah, we're discussing. Been making content for a while though. We've been making content for an hour 20. So all of the food that we ate in between, coming out. Ew, disgusting ink. Today we're talking about creative concept, creativity. How do I work? And how did it evolve during those last 4 years? I was watching a podcast with Rainn Wilson and Casey Neistat, which was amazing. And Rainn was like, "Yo, you have such a creative mind, and you're amazing." And I was like, "Okay, well, I agree that Casey Neistat is one of the most creative person in the world, right?" And then you think about yourself, and you think about yourself being a creative person, but then you compare yourself to a person like Casey Neistat, and you realize that you're not you're not halfway there. So you ask yourself, okay, well, is creative concept something that can evolve? How did mine evolve? There's also the fact that we did BDS today, which is behind the scene. We uploaded a bunch of them, and the content definitely changed during the years. Over the years. How do you say it? I don't freaking know. But it was just a fantastic time. I just had a good idea for a video. That's a great idea for a video. Holy shit. That's a great idea. Holy shit. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Well, I think that the phone is too hot. So I'm going to take that opportunity to write it down. So we're going to write down, do the intro vid for IG Vote and add to compilation. There you go. It is 27 degrees today. It is hot as fuck though. You're loud as fuck. I forgot to enter people on TikTok. Schnitzel. It's loud. There you go, perfect. There you go, that's perfect. Yeah, like somebody asked a question. Oh my god, okay, I'm gonna tell you because at the same point, I want you guys to be aware of what's going on. Somebody just asked me on TikTok, he said, "Hey, I saw someone that was confused, but you got more hair." Which makes sense. And this is such a beautiful video because just did it behind the scene and how much of that is in the video, which is insane. We just finished the behind the scene and how much work we put in, how much creativity we put in. And then I asked myself the question, can creativity evolve? And then my answer was, I think your creative vision can evolve, but not the creativity. Well, possibly. You're possibly born with creativity or not. Imagination is part of creativity, right? You're creating the whole world in your brain, which is part of creativity. So with the behind the scene, I look at my whole journey. How we started from making content without face, making content with face, then making content about food, making content about nature, making content about our own life, about telling story about our mental health, our vision of XYZ. You know? It became very important. Very important. It's not because of the journey we did. And as much as we thought about maturing, some creativity changed, right? I think creativity is, and again, this is when I wrote it this morning and now this is evening, so we don't really remember what we're trying to say, but creativity is such an amazing thing. I did see creativity, and then we went too far. Everything was content, and there was not a breathing moment that didn't get recorded, Then you overdid it with creativity. We have a mosquito bite. I'm going to come and scratch it with an old spoon. Don't worry, it was in the yogurt, so not on the floor technically. With creativity, it's such a picking up the camera and saying this is worth filming. Versus this is not we're filming. This is also being creative. Or also, you take a spoon, tell the whole story. Well, we were eating yogurt, then we're done with eating yogurt, and then I got bitten by a mosquito, and I bite my nails. So then I take the spoon to scratch my mosquito bites. It's not a story, but it's creative because you took something that wasn't supposed to be a tool, then you made it a tool. But at the same time, is a spoon a tool? And the spoon is a tool. As a tool to eat, not to scratch, but to eat. And even then, your creative this is also important for your creative mindset. How you create stuff. For example, right? I used to film everything, right? But then taking one of your film and making a story about it is also important. The fact that we have the phone super close to us, and that we just have to press a couple buttons and when we're filming. Our mind here takes a couple of seconds to create an ID. Your phone takes a couple of seconds to open a camera. You film, ID, camera, content creation, you know? It's nuts, this old creativity. And for us, it evolved, but it didn't evolve in a sense of I'm more creative than I was before. I'm just smarter about being creative. I'm able to tell a better story. I know some my video that you guys really enjoyed. I say, okay, well, my demographics or my content viewer like this point of view. We just had a person ask us to do mukbangs. Do I see myself as like a mukbang content creator? No. I see the beauty behind, my apologies, behind mukbangs, absolutely. It's art. But you're able to eat that much food and people enjoy it, you know? It's such a creative, it's such a complex story. Because you see this yourself as creative, right? And then you're put in front of the camera. And you had this great idea when you came up this morning with it. Then it left. The creativity didn't leave. You just moved on, right? Creativity is also about capturing the moments when it happens. Holy shit, dude. This is so freaking... I'm gonna do a TikTok... I'm gonna do a video about the Tower Talk. That I don't have a choice. It's such a beautiful thing. It is... It's a beautiful thing. And I think the best thing about creativity is the fact that we're born with creativity. Why there's so much content creator? Why there's so much space on content, on social media for content creator? Well, because everybody has a story to tell. And everybody, which I clearly means everybody, have a different story to tell. And the fact that you have a different story to tell comes super useful. Why? Well, because your perception is the way that you want to do things. The ability to be